Alright, today we're giving some love to my daily driver, my 94 Toyota Camry. She is a work of art, classic now. Yes, it has reached that age. So, my starter, I believe my starter's going bad. Replaced my battery, got full power, nothing's turning over. I don't believe it's the alternator because I would still be able to start the car, so I'm going after the starter. So this video is going to talk about how to get the crap out of the way to get to the starter, which is right there hiding underneath by the oil dipstick. Alright, so the first thing you're going to need to do is disconnect your battery terminals, and you're going to need a 10mm socket for that, as well as getting rid of this battery tie. Use a deep socket or else you won't have room. Okay, once you have the battery out, you're going to go ahead and remove the tray here, and it's going to pull up access to these 3 bolts here. They're 10mm as well. A lot of this is 10mm actually. And then there's a 10mm bolt here for this cover. I'm not sure if that needs to come off, but I'm going to take it off anyways. But these 3 bolts down here are going to allow for this whole section right here to kind of slide out of the way for me to access the starter even better. Alright, I've removed my 3 bolts and my cover here. Access is, I'm not sure exactly what I think it's my cruise control and throttle cable, or part of the throttle cable assembly. But anyways, this is all loosened up here now. Creates a little more room and access for the starter there. So next move now is to get rid of this airbox. So this airbox is kind of a pain in the ass. Aside from your normal, clips that you have here and around, you also got a connection here that you're gonna have to go ahead and get rid of. There's also a hose somewhere on here that I know you have to get rid of as well, and an extra bolt right here hiding right there that you got to take off. So it's kind of a pain, no big deal, but kind of a pain. Alright, so once you get that upper cover out, you're going to access the bottom, which has 3, you guessed it, 10mm bolts that will come out. I already took these out, and this will free up your the bottom of your airbox. So now with all that stuff moved, you've gained more access to the starter, which has just a connection right down here. Hard to see, I apologize. And then your terminal as well, that'll be a 10mm screw probably. You do have 2 14mm bolts that are right down here hidden on each side that are holding the starter in place. Those will need to come off in order for you to wiggle it loose. Alright, so what we have here is the connector and the terminal that are hooked to the starter. It was a 13mm to get that nut off, and just a little bit of a wiggle on the connection. So now I just have to get to my 14mm bolt. There's 2 of them, and it should come right out. Alright, starter is out. It does take a little bit of wiggling. You got a bunch of cables and shit down there to deal with, but for the most part you can get it out. It's not too bad. So now it's time to get a new one in there. Okay, new starter in hand. It's just a remanufacture. It's not OEM or anything like that. Comes with a lifetime warranty, so that's a good thing to have. Looks like it was manufactured in Mexico. I guess that's another good thing instead of it being from China. So yeah, should do the trick. Alright, new starter is in. Terminal connection and electrical connection are all hooked up. 2 14mm bolts are back in nice and tight. Basically from here you just have to reverse your steps and you'll be good to go. Okay, and that's what it'll look like once you're finished with everything and get it all put back on and in place, and call it a day.